Okay, I realize I've been wanting to do this, and I know some of you have asked a lot of questions about number 76 here. I guess I'll do an update on it right now. It's 76 is a 280 consolidation type steam locomotive built in 1920 by the Baldwin Locomotive Works. I think it might have been built at Eddystone but there's a good chance it was also built at the Philadelphia plant itself, the original plant. And so far, it's had the smoke box taken off it, and it was pretty well worn through. So I think we scrapped that first thing, and so it's not here anymore that I know of. I don't know if they took the smokestack too or not, but there's a good chance they did. Anyway, it was built for a short line in the Midwest. Well, if you say the Midwest is not Michigan, because it's my opinion, this is the Great Lakes region, because a lot of people spread out the Midwest way big, and my consideration would be the Midwest would be like Kansas and Missouri out to Nebraska kind of way. But yeah, it was used out in that area by a line that was purchased by the Frisco. So this was a Frisco locomotive for a while, and it was retired. Well, it was bought by a couple of guys who were brothers for their short line, the Mississippian Railway, back in the 50s, I believe, and they ran about 9 miles of short line down Mississippi. And they had two locomotives. They had this one, the 76, and they had the 77, which today runs up in Canada. So one just like this is actually operable today. I believe it's either up in Alberta or Saskatchewan, I can't remember. But the 77 still runs, and yeah, I'd like to see that one of these days. You can see here it's pretty simple. Just like the 1225, it's got the rods, the outside valve gear. This one's got Walsher. It's not Baker though, so it's actual like gears and not extension kind of system. See, the rods are not connected, just like 1225s weren't recently. Now 1225s are all back on, but this one I can still show you the differences. See, the rods up here are different. And this one will be connected to another return up here. I believe it's the compound right there. Anyway, yeah. So you got the cross head. It's different. It's got two bars that runs across here and slides like that. This one, even though it's not connected, it's small enough I can kind of move it back and forth like that. You can see the piston move in just a little bit. Yeah, you get the idea. It's pretty much the same concept. So all this is uncovered here. Had to check it out. I don't think these were covered when it came. I can't remember. I got pictures of it. You can see rust has been growing on it continuously ever since it stopped burning in 1991. See, after the Mississippian stopped, they retired it, and eventually the Gettysburg Railroad bought it. Sloan Cornell owned that and a bunch of other tourist railroads out east. And this is one of the locomotives he purchased for the Gettysburg. The other one was the 1278, the former Canadian Pacific type locomotive. The one that had the accident that changed the rules for boilers on steam engines for good, I guess. See, we got the little wheel back here. This is not the engine. It's not a 282. This is a 280. As you can see, there's no connections for another truck, a trailing truck. Nor is it big enough, really. It only extends out this far. This is the extent of where the cab sits out. So there wouldn't be enough weight to make it a 282 in the first place. These are just parts to like hand cars and push carts. They're just sitting here. I don't know why that one's the only one sitting on the track. I almost feel like kicking it off so that way any real foamers come out here, they don't mess it up and say, hey, you got a 282 back here. No, we don't. No. But it's been stripped down to the bare metal and been gone over. There's been talk about cleaning it off and just primering over it so that way it doesn't get any worse. But hopefully this will become the next project. You can see here something like this. You got a stable that's missing here. So you can see right into the boiler there. And you can tell the difference between this and like 1225. This is much smaller. And it's only about 70, almost 80 tons, I think. That's when it's in operating condition, though. This it's got all the parts stripped off of it. And it was purchased by us in 2005. The Gettysburg stopped running in 1991. They just had 1278. 1278 blew up in 1995. Well, it wasn't like a catastrophic explosion, it was a catastrophic release. The crown sheet on that failed, which we're replacing the crown sheet on the 1225 because we wouldn't want anything like that to happen. And that caused the steam to blow out through the cab and badly burned the crew. And that's why the rules changed for the boilers. So this is how the main part of the engine sits today. We gotta get a new smoke box for that there, and yeah, we purchased it in 2005. It was after 1991 it sent the Gettysburg deadline, and then Jerry Jacobson bought it and had in his deadline at the Ohio Central facility. And in 2005 we bought it. We were looking for a locomotive to run different distances, well, shorter distances that would be less money than 1225 to run on the other times that wasn't running. But as 2006 approached, we had a bunch of trouble with 1225 firing and decided it needed some real repair work on the firebox. And it took about 10 months, and a lot of the money that probably would have gone to the 76 to operate in that time, that the 1225 would be down, like right now would be the prime time for the 76 to run. Here's the cab, and it got as far as replacing the side sheet here on the side of the cab. All this here is original. You can see where these are newer rivets in here than what it had originally. And so they never got around to painting it, so it just rusted back up. But I think that'd be easy enough to remove that. I'm worried about some of these welds in here, though. Even though it's riveted, these are new rivets on here also on the back end. It's also got a little shelf up here so you can put your stuff and different things. It's the engineer's side, and here's the fireman's side. This one has a smaller boiler. Cab sits up a little bit higher over it. You can see how it would fit like that. So you actually have the doors on the front end of it. That way you can get on the sides of the cab, onto the catwalks on the boiler. Unlike 1225, you actually have to climb out the cab, not the windows that are up there. You have to climb out, and there's like a little walkway underneath there that you put your feet and then you climb up a small step on the other side, and then you get on the catwalk. So this one is a little bit simpler than that. So that's how that is, and you can see 76 itself. So we never got around to it because 1225 has taken a lot of the money away from that. Hopefully after this year's done, we get 1225 running. We'll be able to get some funds for it. We're looking at over $500,000 just to get where it's anywhere near operable. So less than 1225, but that's our main engine. So this one can only run shorter distances anyway. Just so we're clear on that. I know John was here earlier this week. JRAHRIG. Yeah, if you're on his channel, he does a lot of those short videos, and he goes on, tries his best to explain it, and I really like that channel. I didn't realize he had almost 1,300 videos on there. Way to go, John. But yeah, he was out here, and Here's a better view of that from far away. Climb over the back tracks here. And get along the side, you could get like that. But that's the extent of it. He did a nice overview of it and some of the cars we had here on the property. Although I gotta clear up some of the misconceptions that some people were commenting on his videos, because I know he doesn't know some of the answers, but I like to help him out on that one. Yeah, hopefully this will be the next big project here. Otherwise, we'd have to sell it again. This is really the only option we have for another steam locomotive at the time. John also got a video of the 5632 there in Durand, and the funny story of that is that we tried to get that one before we got this one, and the city of Durand apparently wouldn't let us have it, even though it would have got running and wouldn't be such an eyesore part of the time. We could probably park it there under like a pavilion for part of the year when it's not running, and it'd be pretty good shape otherwise. But I guess they just don't want to do that. Now, where I come from, you know, actually living by Durand and having to deal with what they do, let's just say it's not so great. The depot's nice and all, but the city is, in my opinion, not run like it should be. Hopefully they find a better way to spend their money. I mean, on some of their projects, not just like the steam locomotive in the park. But yeah, I could rant and rant about the city of Durand and how that is. I'm just glad I live in the township. So yeah, that's what we got on the 76. Hopefully in the future we'll be wheeling into the shop and doing like we're doing to the 1225 right now and getting that all done. Don't know if we'll have enough room though. Kind of got the track, we'd have to clean up the tracks real good. I don't know, engine and tender would fit on any of those, but that's where we're at. And yeah, it's not a Grand Trunk Pacific, but hey, it's steam. Okay, so that's the Mississippian 76, and hopefully we'll see that running in the future.